Check.
Check.
All right, in the basement, episode 9. Welcome back, guys. This is Nato Jackson, and my man's Ian Payne. Welcome to the podcast, Ian. It's your first time on.
Yes, it's my first time on a podcast.
Yeah, first time on a podcast ever.
And it's this podcast. What
Yeah,
a nice
bro.
podcast to be on for the first time.
Special occasion, yeah, bro. I wish we should have like a fucking cake, man. Why don't we have a cake?
Bro.
Lisa,
I don't know, we should.
Go get your mom.
I'm just gonna call it by the dozen right now and get a dozen cupcakes and donuts.
By the dozen.
They do specialty cakes too, so you could be like, hey, can you do like a specialty cake for my friend's first time on my podcast, please?
They're like, all right, what do we write on the top of that?
What? How do we decorate that? Like, how do we?
They would get like a little microphone.
Podcast cake.
Yeah.
You get like a microphone on the top of it.
Some
Oh, yeah,
stands,
it's like-
microphones.
You could just put that decal, that logo.
Probably.
Maybe we'll do that for the fucking 1 year anniversary of this
Oh, yeah.
podcast.
Get a
Yeah.
cake.
We'll throw a birthday party for the podcast.
Have just as many people as you can fit.
Yeah, like, and just like mics so like you can probably hear everybody.
As many mics as give people
We'll
handheld
figure it out.
mics.
Yeah, because like if anyone, you've probably noticed
Do
now
you
the
have
last two
that
podcasts.
bitch connecting to your recorder now?
No, not right
Oh.
now. I still got to figure everything out for it. I'm
Gotcha.
just using the setup I got right now. But
That works.
people probably noticed the last two podcasts have been having more than one person on, trying to spice things up. You know, bringing back on some OGs. Had to bring back Nato.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, the first time we were on, we talked about a lot of shit. I felt like we could have kept going, man. We were going for over 2.5 hours, and we could have kept going. So I was like, you know what?
Practically every
gotta go to
conversation
somewhere.
we have, we can record and turn into a podcast.
Yeah, man. Like, I mean, we were sat in your RV and recorded like a half-ass podcast.
There was like at least an hour and a half of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
We
The
were sobered
RV
up,
cast.
Yeah,
Off
it
the
was
soda.
it was like an in the basement off-brand special in the RV.
In the in the
But
mobile home.
I was like, we
The
could do
mobile
that
home.
better though, so we could get
the camera set up.
yeah, and like
Yeah.
the microphones and stuff.
Yeah.
We could do that better.
If it
than-
was in the basement RV audio, then it would be weird.
yeah, people would be like, what is this? I'm
why,
confused.
why does it say RV?
That's what a
There's no
podcast
RV.
is, though. You're listening to us.
I'm announcing though
You're
right
really
now.
that
I
happy
guess.
that you see us right now?
Hey, they probably
Yeah,
missed
you're
us,
right.
man. It's been like 2 weeks, man. They probably missed us.
But yeah, we
Yeah,
just be
whoever is
sitting
there.
here and not like we dancing or doing any like.
You're right.
Yeah, but hey, man, we're not
I never watched
stimulating
the
our
video.
our physicalness.
No,
we're
you're right.
stimulating
Though.
our
I like
mind.
having, even though I'm giving shit, I like having podcasts with videos.
Yeah, bro. It's
I do,
like
but I barely ever watch it. Usually I'll
That's
open
why I
up
love
or
reading
tab
the
and do
gospel.
something.
yeah. Usually, a lot of what I do when I watch podcasts, I'll like read comments if they have comments,
Oh,
or
yeah.
I'll like
Big brain.
just lay down and listen to it. I don't really like listen to it when I'm driving. I like listening
No.
to fucking
You
music
gotta
when I'm
be a
driving. I'm like
distraction.
music when I'm driving. I'm driving down the thing. It's either like I'm playing Billy Joel and I'm like, we didn't start the fire, or then like I turn my next song on my mixtape and it's just real bastard, and like the lady next to me is an old lady at the red light and she's just looking at me like.
some Celine Dion, just like.
Actually, I was driving the other day and I was playing music. It was like fucking heavy shit, right? And all of a sudden, this old lady was standing on the sidewalk and she goes,
Nice.
Yeah, bro.
I was like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah. I love shit like that.
Let's
I
get her on the
remember,
podcast.
Yeah.
I can roll down your window. Hey, lady, you want to be on my podcast?
Hey, wait. You like drive off. It's a green light, so you go, but then you're like, do you eat? Hey, wait, baby, wait a minute. I got this podcast, right?
I think you'd be a fine guest.
I feel like what's his name, Clancy from the Midnight Gospel. Sometimes I'm
I
like, "You wanna
haven't
be on my
seen that
hustle?"
yet.
You
I
haven't
saw
seen
the
that?
first episode, but that's it.
You should watch more of it,
Black
bro.
and
It gets so good.
everyone should watch that.
I mean, the first episode is
Yeah,
really good, but it gets even better.
Yeah, that's
So
what
good.
everybody says. I don't know, I just wasn't that into the first episode.
It's basically a podcast with like animation
Yeah.
over it.
It's like a podcast, and then there's like a story happening in the video.
I think it's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
It's definitely like a unique show. Like there's
Yeah,
no
definitely.
other show like it.
No.
Not
Definitely
even at all.
No.
Like
Isn't it made by the people who made Adventure Time?
Well, Duncan Trussell was
The
one of the
animation
animators on Adventure Time.
oh really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
I didn't know that. No.
Look it up.
That's pretty.
I could have sworn that's where
Or maybe he's a writer.
Midnight Gospel was like everyone was like the guy
Sorry.
who created it.
Holy
Duncan
shit.
Trussell was one of the animators or the artists.
I always
for
feel
Adventure
like Adventure Time and regular show are so underrated.
Yeah, definitely. They were great shows.
I'm more of a regular show guy, but like,
Yeah, same. When Adventure Time aired, I kind of didn't really like. I would never really watch it. I got more into it after.
which one, regular show?
Adventure Time.
Oh, Adventure Time.
I loved regular show.
I think I like Adventure Time, but I've never sat down and just like binge watched.
That's the guy. I know that guy.
Yeah, it's Duncan Trussell.
Yeah, he's on Joe Rogan's podcast a lot.
Yeah,
He has his own
that's where I've
podcast.
seen.
Yeah, I don't think he.
I'm pretty sure he
Yeah.
worked on Adventure Time. Why would he be on the Adventure Time wiki?
Because it says he would. He hosted a podcast with the Adventure Time creator Pendleton Ward.
So you
That
just
sounds
be
more
on the
familiar.
Adventure Time wiki.
Just go
I
to
could
like
see it,
his
though.
IMDb.
How about just looking up Adventure Time Duncan Trussell?
Yeah, I don't think so, bro. I mean, this is the Adventure Time fucking
Yeah.
fandom, bro. This
Yeah, they know
is this is
everything about
these
the
are the
show.
weebs that sit around going, "Oh, Princess Bubblegum."
I forgot what it is.
Princess
There's an
Bubblegum.
association though between Midnight Gospel and Adventure Time with the creators, I believe.
Yeah, well, he probably
Maybe
had
it's-
the dude on his podcast, and the dude was like, "Hey, let's be friends and work on something together. Let's do something together."
Maybe the
Yeah.
same guy that. Okay, I'm probably mixing it up. Maybe just the same guy that did the animations for Midnight Gospel also did Adventure Time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Well, like, I've been
That makes
really
sense.
into that fucking Epstein stuff lately.
My
Like, I
boy
tried to watch that. I
Epstein.
tried to watch the Netflix documentary on it.
Yeah,
they try to
how is
paint-
I
that?
watched a bit.
It's first of all, it's just so depressing. It's like hard to watch.
Donald Trump.
And then like, I
His
just think
neighbor.
they try to make it. They try to spin it so like Epstein was like the mastermind of everything. That he was like the one
He wasn't
behind the
smart
scenes.
enough.
No, bro. I think, well, there was one of the girls who were on the island painted a picture of like
Fucked
her
up that I
interpretation.
know-
Have you
know what you're talking about
have you seen
when
the
say
picture?
island.
have you seen the
No.
picture?
I believe, sir, you have an egg-shaped penis. Is that true, Sir Epstein?
Epstein
please
egg
ask
penis?
appropriate
Question mark?
questions. Silence.
Oh.
Sir, this lady said that your penis is described as egg-shaped. Is that true? Fucking, what a joke.
What the
Just
hell?
taking Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, the fucking picture of Bill Clinton in a dress came up.
Nice.
Bill Clinton
there it
in a
is,
dress?
look.
Hot.
So like, can I get a big version of this?
Epstein victim is painting his.
So like, this is one, and like, look. Epstein is all the way over here in the back in a
Yeah, I
UFO.
see him.
Epstein, the mastermind of everything, the mastermind behind everything, is all the way over here in the corner in a little UFO.
In the plane.
But look
Maybe
who's-
he's
look
just
who's
the
in the middle.
Are you
transporter.
gonna be able to put this on the screen of the?
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Look, you got Clinton.
And this is a victim's art that she.
Yeah, this is one of the girls that was on the island. You know, this is her.
Yeah, because they would
painting of
the
it.
massages, right? They'd be like, "Yeah, "You want some
Well,
money?"
I think that it was just like, Epstein's island was like, if you were fucking rich as fuck and you wanted an island to do anything you wanted on privately and have no government track you or whatever, that's where you would go. But like the thing is you would go and you'd probably get drunk and you'd do something illegal and they'd film it. Like Epstein would have footage of it.
Yeah,
So
they
that
can hold it
yeah,
against
so like you couldn't rat because you were dirty too, you know.
Yep.
And that's how it got like this. That so many people now are like
Yeah.
involved in it. That's probably why they capped him. Well, they didn't cap him. There was an HBO doctor. An HBO. What are they called? The people that like study the dead bodies.
HBO
Like
Max.
the people that work at
The morgue. Yeah, there was one that said that his neck.
morticians.
Yeah, I think so.
The morticians.
His neck looked like it had been like strangled instead of like, because if you're hung, the wounds are up here and they cut off circulation up
Yeah.
here. But it was more like muscles and it was bruising and like muscle restraint and shit or whatever. Where at the bottom of the neck, where it was like in common, it was more likely someone was like behind him with like a string or a rope and just killed him
Yeah.
and then hung him up there to make it look like it. the security cameras were just somehow malfunctioned.
Only his.
So coincidentally.
It was so the guards weren't there and the security.
So coincidentally.
Or the media, at least, not everyone per se, but you know, we've already forgotten about that.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
Isn't
Definitely
that was like
haven't heard
right
about it in a
before
while.
COVID too?
Yeah, it was in like, wasn't it in like December?
Yeah, man, that was right
Now
before
we're forgetting
COVID.
about COVID, and if you
Yeah.
look at it,
Well,
COVID's
we're not-
actually like
yeah.
rising.
Really?
It's not getting better.
I
It's
heard that it
definitely-
was getting better.
In
I
our
think-
in our state, it is.
Yeah, that's
but
what I was gonna
in
say.
the rest of the world, it's in the rest of our states, it's getting worse.
I don't think we're
That's
getting
what
better.
the
I think
news
we're
is
just
telling me.
maintaining Illinois.
It's not
Yeah,
like
China
it's-
said that they only had 30,000 people get it. Like
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
China, you know how densely populated their population
Yeah,
is? Like,
and that's where it came from.
right.
That's where the pandemic like.
it's,
Yeah.
bursted
it's
in-
crazy
it's
because
where it, like,
yeah, no, I actually knew someone that
came
had
from,
COVID. So like, and it was so weird because they work at what's it called, like a retirement home.
Yeah.
So they're you know involved with sick
Around.
people and come in and stuff. And basically, she got COVID, but she got COVID, tested positive, and then within like a week and a half, she was negative. And then no longer. I wasn't
So,
aware
like,
that COVID was that quick of a.
Well,
But
it
she had
varies
some
with-
hardcore
Yeah,
symptoms.
yeah,
It varies.
it's a
There's
ve-
different strains of COVID.
It's a very individualistic drug where
Mhm.
someone
No drugs.
you could get it. Nah.
I understood what you
Dabs.
meant. I got
Drugs.
Drugs. So it's one of those diseases where you could get it and not even know you have it,
Yeah.
or you could get it and be like,
Yeah,
I can't breathe. I've fallen and I can't get up. So
I can't breathe.
if it's just, I think it has to do with like your immune system, and if you're getting the right amount of vitamins.
Gotta get those vitamins. Drink
Yeah,
orange
you gotta
juice.
get that fiber.
sun.
You gotta eat your green
Isn't
beans.
there, I forgot the
I
virus,
know.
but isn't there actual an actual correlation with a certain vitamin and?
Yeah, vitamin D.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, but I figured since I didn't want to say that since it's such a common vitamin that I'm like, it's not
Vitamin D.
But yeah, no, you're okay.
The more
But yeah.
people, I talked
I
about
think
it.
that goes for everything.
I think it was
though.
the podcast with Connor, the last one I talked about it. I think it
Right.
was, where we showed that it was like 1% of COVID patients have enough vitamin D, and like most of them are insufficient vitamin
Dang.
D.
And vitamin D is what you get from like the sun and shit.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, or Sunny D.
And
Oh,
that makes
yeah.
sense. That makes
Sunny
sense
D.
as to why.
Shout out to Sunny D.
Right.
Sunny D.
That makes sense as to why all these old people are super susceptible to it and shit like that.
Yeah, because they're always sitting
well, they're
here.
inside.
Deborah, can you
Yeah.
make me a grilled cheese sandwich?
Yeah, bro.
Just kidding. Shout out to old people.
They just,
Yeah,
you know,
old
it's,
people
it's more risky for them
Being
to go
racist
outside.
and shit, you know. how
They
old
can
people
die
be.
from like walking down the stairs wrong and falling.
Yeah.
It's more dangerous, more risk. So they're like, I'm just gonna stay inside and watch my Family Feud.
Family Feud and
You
soap
should scoot
operas.
over just a little more, Nate.
Gotcha.
Probably hanging halfway off the screen.
Hanging out.
Downtown by myself, and I'm in so yeah. But I've been like just really into like, cause I go through phases of like being into like the conspiracy theories, and with everything going on, I'm like, COVID isn't real.
It's not real.
The moon is really.
It's
The
definitely
moon is a butt.
real.
The moon made it.
Whether or not it was created or whether or not it was a natural thing, like from bats,
Definitely there.
that's up for debate. But the disease is real and it's affecting and killing people. Like, you know.
I think that whether or not it came from a lab, China is definitely lying about it.
Yeah,
Well,
they. I
wouldn't
mean,
tell
they.
us.
They
wouldn't be
lied
like,
about
yeah,
it at
we
first,
created
didn't
this
they?
to like, you know, cut the population of our.
I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't do that because we're like their biggest fucking consumer. You know how
Yeah,
much
but they hid
everything
it
we
at
buy
first.
is made in China. Everything we buy is
That's
made in
true.
China,
I
man.
bet this
Yeah.
vape I'm hitting is made in China.
That's what I'm saying. Is like,
Or it's
why
not
would they?
China,
We're just gonna kill the people that buy our shit. Like,
Like a lot of shit's been dyed in Thailand.
yeah, a lot of shit's made in like Indonesia too.
Oh,
I have a guitar that was made in Indonesia.
Like almost every pair of shoes I bought says made in Indonesia.
I had something that was made in Jamaica, and I was like, oh, Jamaica, no dismissing. and then I don't remember what it was though.
Smoking since Amelia.
Yeah, but you'd never see anything made in America, really.
I mean,
And if
you do it,
it's
like
I feel like it's expensive. The American shit's expensive because the
I
culture's.
see a lot of shit that's made
You look
in
at
America.
the culture in China is like.
Sorry.
I got scared for a second. I was really loud. The culture in China is like, oh, we're making all this cheap shit. If you break it, it's $1. Go buy a new one.
See, Jacob, fuck you. Look at this. This fucking cup's made in the USA. I'm telling
Made in
you.
the
If you just look at
USA.
shit,
Well,
there's
look, it's a
lot of-
Blackhawks cup, bro.
Well, there's a
so
lot of-
obviously
Yeah,
it would
that's
be.
what
That
I was
doesn't
gonna say.
mean
I was gonna
anything.
say.
If you actually look at a lot of companies that make fucking American like sports merchandise, they're Chinese companies.
Yeah, but what I'm
It's
saying is like,
merchandise a lot
but
of times
the
that I feel
Chinese
like is
culture
made
is
by us.
different. In China, they buy something for $2 and then it breaks and then they buy a new one. Here, it's more. It used to be you buy something, you fix it, you keep it nice, and it builds. It's built to last, but it might be a little expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, in China, we're kind of starting to move towards this culture of buy, break,
Yeah.
replace.
Disposability.
Just being able to throw something away and not worry about it, which is pretty bad for the environment.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially all these like shitty plastics. We should be making them out of hemp.
Yeah.
We should have giant hemp fields, and we should put fucking
Marijuana's still
people
legal federally.
people that are in jail for marijuana should be put in charge of these giant hemp growing plantations to make up for their fucking
Big
lives
way.
that were ruined.
That's not a bad idea. At least not maybe in charge.
And like, because hemp grows so fast and in such big quantities, we could grow so much hemp, make so much biodegradable plastics.
I feel like everyone that's
But no, big plastic, and
Plastic
big TP
rule.
and big plastic is out there
it's fucked.
trying to destroy the oceans.
Honestly, I think anyone that like is in jail for a non-violent drug charge needs to be free. Like, I mean, let's
Mhm.
be real. I mean,
For sure.
something I mentioned in the last podcast that I was in is that even though it's a little, I guess, extreme kind of view, I feel like people should have the decision to fuck up their life. Like we don't.
I agree.
Right.
We
You wanna
just
fuck
need
up
to be
your life,
more
bro.
informed, I guess.
Yeah.
Because we we lie about these drugs.
I know
a
what
lot.
you're saying. I feel like
we're like, it's always one-sided. Like, you take heroin and you're gonna be strung out and fucking, you're gonna die. No,
Mhm.
there's plenty of people that use heroin regularly,
Functioning addicts,
shoot up
yeah.
and go to work and all that shit.
Well, I think that I definitely see what you're saying.
Not saying that's
More-
right.
more
It's just
on-
the individual. Who's to say?
More on what you're saying is like, we should take rid of these this war on drugs that we have. That's not doing anything. That's just promoting police violence and
Yeah.
hate amongst people. We should take this war on drugs and take it and say fuck you, and we should make more rehabilitation centers and more programs that are based for people getting better. And you know, this is kind of has to do with what I'm saying, but psychotherapy is something that needs to be
Yeah.
used with these people that are
Like with
big addicts.
ketamine and ayahuasca. and different things like
In
that.
mushrooms and even maybe LSD, like it was used in because if
Yeah.
you knew before the big LSD boom in the 70s, because it was
Yeah.
illegal, it was being used by doctors and therapists in what we call psychotherapy. That was it's basically you sit with someone, you trip a little bit, and they guide you through these emotional barriers that you're having in a more comfortable setting. But so what I'm saying
This
is,
one's pretty dope.
here's another idea, man.
No, it's very, you should
If we
watch
have
some
bars
videos.
where someone can go and just get fucking drunk and be a retard and waste their life, we
Yeah.
should have
Fights.
we should have places where someone can go and sit down with a trained professional who gives them a good dose for who they are of
Mhm.
something they're comfortable taking, and sits them and takes them through this trip and this emotional journey where they could learn things that they've never even thought they could perceive before.
Yeah.
And
That'd be a great idea.
but no, those are illegal, Ian. We can't talk about this.
illegal.
It's-
It goes against.
But you can go get drunk at a bar, so I don't know.
Yeah, and then drive home and kill somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean,
SMH.
I
Yeah.
think
I mean, how many people die off alcohol a year? So many.
Probably a lot.
So many. And then just now weed is legal in our state, and no one has ever died off weed as in the drug itself.
Yeah.
Sure, people have gotten way too high and have done
Dumb
dumb
shit.
shit and killed themselves, but that's not causation really.
Yeah, I
No.
think, and it's just now
User
people
error.
are waking
That's
up like
reflecting
people
on
are
the
just now
person.
waking up like weed shouldn't
Yeah.
have been illegal, but an estimated 88,000 people, approximately 62,000 men and 26,000 women die from alcohol-related causes each year, making alcohol the third leading preventable cause of death in the United States.
Third, and I'm pretty sure first is like heart disease, which is a
Yeah.
Or like
first case.
suicide.
And then second's probably like
Suicide.
I don't think suicide's up there. I think suicide's a real small majority of death.
it's probably like heart disease, cancer.
I don't think suicide is. I don't think it's in the top 5 of death.
I'd say like maybe 10, 8.
It's in the top 10, yeah.
Nearly 800,000 people die from suicide in the world each year, which is roughly one death every 40 seconds.
That's in the world.
Suicide is
world.
suicide is the second leading cause of death in the world for those
Yeah.
aged 15 to 24 years old.
Fuck, I did
That's
not
pretty.
know that.
That's pretty
Yeah.
fucked. But at the same time, we're looking at the statistics of the first one, alcohol in the United States, and this one is suicide in the
Oh, we did
whole
the
world.
United States
Yeah.
first, huh?
Basically, yeah, but what I'm saying is like we could use these
Yeah,
things
yeah.
like psychotherapy
Oh, yeah.
or cleaning up the world with hemp.
Yeah.
That's another thing we could do. But the thing with
For sure,
psychotherapy
for
is
sure.
we should, instead of putting people in prison for being addicted to heroin, we should put them through rehabs and these psychotherapies if they want, and
Yeah, totally.
there needs to. I don't think that's such a crazy idea. Instead of
Well, it's proven its works. So.
because what I'm thinking is we should not do that. It's so weird. That would freak me out.
I heard that a little bit.
It's such a weird sound in the headphones.
Oh, okay. He touched the audio interface as.
But no, I fucking can't remember what I was fucking saying.
We were talking about heroin rehabilitation.
Yeah, and you have like the police departments that have all this money that goes into the police for them just to be dicks. We should
Honestly.
resource the money that is used on the war on drugs
Defund the
and
police.
yeah, not completely defund them,
Yeah,
but take
for sure.
some money and resources from departments that are being wasted and used to hurt people, especially people of color
Yeah.
in
Way
low
too
income
much
communities.
money.
Yeah, and we should
No, it's
make more social programs that include like rehab and psychotherapy and I don't know, fucking playgrounds or just businesses in general that not just boarded up
Yeah,
buildings
for
and
sure.
like just getting the local city looking better. Maybe roads, like that's something Rockford
Yeah,
needs is
for
fucking
sure.
roads.
Shit, sorry.
But
Are we
to-
putting a lot of money into our police department though, specifically?
I
don't know.
Do you want to specifically in Illinois?
Because I don't know how I feel about necessarily defunding the police. I
Not
think,
defunding, but taking some resources and funds that are being used on things like the
Right.
war on drugs and attacking lower income class communities and,
No, yeah,
and
yeah.
private prisons.
I
We
agree
should
with
take that money and use it for something better.
Yeah, I guess what I was just about to say with the whole people is just saying defunding police is that I think the whole justice and the police department is just fucked completely.
Yeah.
But we just need to it needs to have more time into it. It's so easy to become a police officer when it's
Oh, yeah.
really the hardest job that there kind of is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
Like you have to have such good control of your emotions and your fucking feelings. You have to be I feel like the only one that'd be fit for that job is like a Navy SEAL or someone that's like super
Honestly.
super trained.
Right.
That's
There-
fucking elite.
You need to have more training than you have right now as a police
Yeah.
officer. Like it should be more looked at like a doctor
I
or
look
like
at
a
that.
lawyer than
Yeah.
becoming a garbage man.
It's like
becoming a police
700.
officer.
It's like 700, 800 hours to become a police officer. I've put more fucking hours into my game than
Yeah,
it takes
bro,
for a
honestly.
fucking police for someone to become a police
Have you
officer.
seen the movie?
Which that's a big. I've played those games for a certain amount of time, but at the same time, like being a police officer is such a difficult job.
It's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody. It's actually for the minority. Like
Yeah, it's
I
for
feel
people
like-
that can act calm in extreme situations. And
because the
it's great.
I would say the majority is not good in super high tense situations.
Especially
'cause
when they have a
that's-
gun.
Yeah, that's just
Yeah.
human nature. I mean, we just freak out about shit.
Especially when they feel like they have to keep in control of everything.
And then they question
And
themselves.
I think that when when it comes to like police, everyone fucking hates the police, but no one hates firemen, and no one hates ambulance drivers.
Well, because you don't.
So why do we hate police?
Here,
It's
I'll
because
you.
we're not bothered by the fucking firemen. They come when they're needed.
Yeah.
We're not bothered by the ambulance people. They come when they're needed. Cops don't fucking come when they need it. They bug the shit out of you and pest you because they're bored and they're power hungry.
Yeah, and
Not
only
all
that,
cops, okay? Not all cops,
Right.
but a good amount of cops.
And not only that, Jacob, with a fireman versus a police officer, we don't have to worry about with a fireman as we do with a police officer
They're not
being
armed.
harassed over something that's not even an
Yeah.
actual crime.
Exactly.
Smoking weed in your home, fucking doing shit in private. Like, you would never have to. A fireman is there
sucking your own
to
balls.
save you.
Exactly.
Save your cat from a tree.
Fireman's
Save you
just
from
gonna
a
be
fire.
like, cool,
save you
man.
from whatever it may be in this dire situation.
Yeah, man. And
But, I mean, nonetheless, that's what the police officers should be that.
exactly, and
So-
what you were saying is that they don't have enough training. Like
They don't.
they really, 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 really don't. Like they expect
I mean,
citizens to act like with a gun pointed at them to act normal, or you're gonna get shot and
Right.
killed. While they're the ones that are supposed to be trained. They're the ones that are supposed to be trained
They
to
don't know
handle
what the
these
fuck they're doing.
situations.
Let
and they
me
don't know what
ask
they're
you
doing.
something real quick. Do y'all know any police officers personally?
PD's an ex-cop.
Well, okay, yeah, not so much.
Is he really?
ex-cops.
Yeah,
But I know a
How
few.
long ago?
long time ago.
I know a few,
It's
and
like
just
lady.
like overall, they're not good people. Like, they're very arrogant. The few that I've met, I mean, might just be a personal thing that's happened to me, but they're just arrogant. Very like, I mean, I've come to describe them as like very fucking coppy.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
they're very
Cops
like,
are
they
coppy.
act like police officers.
Any interaction I've had with a cop, they've always come off that way, super cocky.
Other than that one
Yeah.
that would visit us in elementary school, you know, that was like, hey kids.
I went on
use
a
police
ride-along.
safety.
I went on a
Really?
ride along with a cop. Yeah,
He told me, yeah. you
it was
told me.
it was
The license plate story. Tell
someone
me
got
about
well, someone robbed a Menards, and then someone robbed what was it? The store next to Target, Kohl's. Someone robbed Kohl's. So we had to go to Kohl's, check the security cameras and all this shit. And I was like, so what, are we gonna catch this guy or what? And he's like, it ain't like what you see on TV, man. And this cop was the only cop I've ever met that was really cool. Like, I had to ask him interview questions, right? And one of the questions was like, do you have any advice for me if I chose to be a cop? And he's like, don't.
Don't.
Just don't, man.
Don't
It's like
do it, man.
he's like it sucks being a cop and everyone hates you. And he's like, that's what he was saying. And like but when you really get this like power trip when you're driving around in a police car, because they have this computer, right? And like
Yeah.
a cop will pull you over for texting, but a cop can go 80 miles an hour down the road with his computer just playing games on his, not playing games, but he
Doing
will,
shit.
what they do is they come up behind you and they search your license plate. And they'll have all the information about you right there, where you live, what school you went to, where you work,
Damn. I
everything.
didn't know
Bam,
all that.
right there on the computer.
That's crazy.
So
bro.
like, if what they'll do
I
is
thought they
like
only had,
they'll
like,
search,
car information.
they'll search you up, right?
Yeah.
And they'll see it's like, oh, this car is owned by a white chick named Tanya, but that guy driving ain't a chick.
That ain't
That ain't
Tanya.
Tanya. So then they'll pull them over, just based on that. Just based on that shit alone. Or if what they'll do is if someone has like because they'll come up with like their record, right? And if someone has had problems before, like
Yeah.
even minor things, like a ticket or whatever, they will fucking follow them around. And if they do one little thing wrong, boop, pulled over, you're done.
Yeah.
Like,
Easy as that.
and it's like a game to them. It's like they get this us versus them mentality, where it's like we're the cats and they're the mice. Type of shit that's going on, and it's kind of fun and thrilling. I mean, I fucking chased down the street. We lights on, chased a guy down the road, trying to flee from us. We got him.
Wait, what?
Oh
Yeah.
my
Then again, and then another guy was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go break into this dude's house. We got the warrant came in." So we parked down the street, and he goes, "You can't come for this, but you can watch." So I watched them go down the roads with their guns and their gloves on, and just like break into this dude's house. And then he comes back and they're like, "Nah, they weren't. He wasn't there."
Oh my god.
We
That's
took
funny.
We took the pizza from his fridge. Are you hungry, kid?
Yeah. Like,
yeah, he wasn't there. We went piece of
Wasn't
pizza.
there.
yeah, and then they always go to Kelly's Market. Every cop goes to Kelly's Market.
Yeah.
See, because they
Don't
get
they get
free.
discounts?
They
The
get
first
free
time
shit.
I was
Yeah,
like,
they get
I'm
free shit?
gonna pick up some shit at like Kelly's Market, and I remember I was like, gonna have my buddy pull up there. And as soon as he pulled up, cop pulled up, and I was like, I texted him. I was like, sorry, buddy. just wait there. Like, I'll be back.
Wait.
I never go there
And then
because
he
the
left.
place is always packed with cops.
Nate, remember one time we were walking from Dylan's house to the Kelly's Market to get an apple, and there were like 6 fucking cops just chilling in there with the coffee, and they were all talking, and it was past curfew, and we just needed an
And
apple.
we're just 6 people deep. We want a single apple.
That happened to me and Ian, Charlene. We were walked into the Kelly's Market, and we were buying an apple to smoke out of. We were like 15, and it was past curfew. And then all of a sudden, a cop comes in, and he looks at me, and he's like, "Go home."
I think I was there.
And I was just like, "Okay."
Yeah. There was a time where it was you, me, Ian, and Dylan, and we went into a gas station, and the cop was walking out, and he was like, "You boys don't look over 18, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume you're not. So go home."
Yeah, it was like that.
But he said it super like angry.
Like, yeah, he
Not
was,
as
like,
jokingly
pissed.
as I just did.
Yeah, he was like,
pissed.
he's like, "You guys 18? Probably not. Go home." That's what he did. And like his
He did
fucking
exactly
eyes
that
turned
shit.
red, and the horns grew out of his skull, and he was like,
Yep. He dropped all his shit and transformed.
yeah. He was like, "I'm not a normal cop. I ain't no normal cop." You guys ever see Observe and Report?
No, I want to though.
Dude.
It's Seth Rogen, right?
Yeah, it's the funniest movie ever. He's like, the thing about the movie is it's so unsettling to watch because you don't cheer for him at all because he's like literally mentally insane. Like he's like, there's a guy who's Arabic on the show, and he's just like he's so racist to him. Like, he's like, "Fuck you, Saddam Hussein, fuck you," and shit like that. And the other guy's just like, "Fuck you, Ronnie, you racist piece of shit. I got a restraining order against you," and shit like.
That's funny.
And there's dicks in this movie, and he's just a nutcase, man. And he's trying to be a cop. The movie's literally about a nutcase trying to be a cop. He's like a mall officer who thinks he's a badass and like
Paul Blart
he's
Mall Cop.
and he like thinks he
Rated
should be
R
a
edition.
cop. Oh, it pretty much is. It's Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Yes.
I've never actually seen that movie.
Really?
I've never seen Paul
I used to
Paul.
love it as a kid.
It was great,
Not
me
gonna
too.
lie, yeah. And then I saw the second one in theaters in middle school with someone, and I was just the whole time I was like, no, this is bad.
We're back.
Ayo, this in the
Back,
Basement
yeah.
Podcast.
So I thought we'd start off with a bang and do the album of the week.
Album of the week.
Yes, sir. What is the album of the week, Nate?
For the album of the week, we have Remo Drive, A Portrait of an Ugly Man. That was released
Brand new.
yesterday. Brand new album by Remo Drive.
Yeah.
Picked by the one and only Ian Payne.
Yep.
Right
picked
on.
it.
I've only listened to a little bit of it.
Surprisingly,
It
Ian
doesn't
Payne-
sound like their other shit, in my opinion.
Oh, something that
it doesn't.
I'm a
No,
huge
it
fan of
doesn't.
Remo Drive. I've seen them live a few times, and
I
I've been
really
a fan
wanted
since
to.
my freshman year of high school. But they've vastly changed. They have so many different songs that hit such a vast majority of like alternative rock music, if you will.
Right.
They have like punky, they have screamo shit. That's what some of their old shit is like screamo.
Yeah.
And I mean now they got this like slow rock kind of
Yeah.
vibey jam.
Yeah, it's a lot
Jazzy
more like,
kinda.
it's got like this kind of like 80s ocean vibe feel to it, where it's like Pink Floyd-y. And like,
Right.
hey, I'm going out on a boat with a bunch of bikini chicks,
On a
type
boat.
vibe with it. But you gotta think that their last album kind of boosted them up into like the bigger games. People know
Which
who.
one? Strawberryta.
I'm not big into Remo Drive, so like.
I didn't really like their album. Well, I don't know.
Oh,
There was more.
you're talking
there was
about
more-
like the one they just released like a year.
The
2
one
years
that with
ago.
like it says like a pink background. It's like the three of them.
Okay, that's
That's
not
Greatest
the,
Hits,
That's
isn't
the first one.
That one.
Yeah, that was
Their popular album. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people.
That's not the second to most recent though. They
Okay.
released one before it.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
that
Gotcha.
one I didn't like too much.
It wasn't too great, but the EP that they released for it was super great.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
you sound
two-
like we're time
like
traveling.
$2.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They have like
It doesn't
the song,
make any sound when I'm doing it, but
They got like the song
I guess
$2
it does.
and shit. That's such a good one off that EP. Some
$2.
singles that they released for.
Yeah, but Nate, you've probably listened
I saw
to the
them
new
live.
one the most.
Yeah.
You
Well, coincidentally, when Ian picked it, I fucking listened to it earlier today, like just on my own, because it was released yesterday, and I'm a fan of it.
How would you rate it?
It's not as good as Strawberryta. It's better than the album before this one. This is Anthony Fantano, and I'm gonna have to give this a solid
4 out of 10
Solid.
because nothing I say makes any sense.
7.9. Not quite an 8 because it doesn't have that quite respect for the 8, but solid work.
What did you say? 7.8.
Yeah, or 7.9, something like that. Close to an 8, but it's pretty good. It's not that great.
I like that
Strawberry
one.
Ito was like a 9.
I like the one song off the new one. It said Ode to something.
Oh yeah,
Ode to Joy too.
Yeah, that one. I like that
That
one.
was a joke.
Ode to Joy was really
What
good.
I said was
Yeah, no, I like that one. That's the one that you said was very Pink Floydy.
Yeah, it's got like this it's like progressive vibe to it, where it's slow and melodic. But it's a pretty decent album. Go check it out. Remo Drive. Link in the description.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What have you been listening to lately, Ian?
I've been listening to a lot of Joe Keery.
Oh, the guy from Stranger
Yeah,
Things.
the guy from Stranger Things. I really like his music. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I've only listened to like bits and pieces of it whenever you or Miles play it.
Yeah.
I think it's
I like
good.
it.
It's good. It's like very indie. He's very indie. I don't like that he cut his hair, and I really hope that in the new Stranger
Cut his
Things.
hair?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I
And in the
remember
new
seeing
Stranger
that,
Things
yeah.
season, if he has his hair cut, I'm gonna riot. I'm
I'll
gonna
wig-
riot.
I'll have a wig if anything.
It would be
It'll
weird,
still look
wouldn't
like-
it?
Yeah.
It'd be weird
Yeah.
if Steve Harrington didn't have his hair.
Maybe he's gonna like work at a restaurant or something. And he had to get his hair cut. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they'd have to write it in somehow. That's like part of his character.
I think
His hair.
Stranger Things is like one of the biggest cult classics of like the modern day era.
Definitely.
I haven't seen Stranger Things.
You need to watch
Really?
it, man.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, maybe it's pretentious a little bit, but like, I just struggle to get into. Even though I love media, like I struggle to get into media that takes like a lot of time. Like
Yeah.
not just not out of your day, but like it's a span. Like you gotta do weeks.
I don't know. I don't know. I watched all Stranger Things in like a day or two, bro.
I've
Like-
seen every season.
Well, I
the
don't
night it
know.
comes
It's
out.
just. I mean, I've watched an episode. Maybe I just gotta give it more of a chance, like I did with other things.
Yeah, I think
but
the first season's actually the worst season. Like
the
it is
first,
with a lot of
the
shit.
first
disagree.
episode, I was just
Really? I
like,
think the
this is
first season's
boring.
top tier.
I'm not-
I think the third season's the best season.
I agree, but
Yeah, and a lot of the
season one's
shit.
pretty good too.
A lot of the shit
Season
I watch on
2, I think, is the
Netflix.
worst.
It's
Really?
like
There's
Trailer
like
Park
2
Boys.
conversations happening. Like 2
And fucking
We need to just take a break first. We were
BoJack.
the dabs, man.
Yeah, I gave you a fucking fat ass booger before this.
Yeah, there's not many things that are cult classics in modern day anymore. There's Stranger Things. There's Breaking Bad.
The off.
There's BoJack Horseman.
Yeah, BoJack for like animated shit. Cause like recently, like you have Family Guy and Simpsons and South Park. Those things have been around for
Yeah, forever.
since the '90s, man. The only good animated series I've seen recently are like BoJack.
Big Mouth. That's
I don't
a
like
pretty
Big Mouth.
I like Big Mouth. I think.
I liked it when I was
I
younger.
enjoy Big Mouth as well.
Yeah, I just enjoy some of the humor in the more recent season didn't hit for me, but I loved the first season.
I feel like a creep when I watch it.
Yeah, that's how the most recent season made me feel.
Yeah.
But the first season and the second season, I thought something funny.
I think that there were parts of it that were funny. Like Maury is funny.
Yeah.
The hormone monster.
Hormone monster.
He's funny, but like
Dude, he's funny though.
I thought that the main characters were weird. Like Andrew is just. Is that his name?
Andrew's fine.
Oh,
yeah,
Andrew.
the
He's
Jew
weird.
boy.
He's
the-
weird. And like,
Jew boy.
and like the dude Nick and his parents are so fucking weird.
His parents are weird
Oh,
as shit.
Like it's just I watch it, I'm like, this is not how people are.
No,
like,
it's extremely exaggerated.
Yeah, I'm like, this is not how it is at all, man. I think sometimes they get it, and I'm like, haha, yeah, that's kind of true.
There has to be some people have to.
There's
relate to
probably
that.
somebody out there like that guy's dad, Nick's dad.
Because
Oh,
it's
there's
not
gotta
too
be a Nick's dad
unrelatable,
out
I
there.
guess. Even though I don't really relate to the story of it, but the whole show of Big Mouth, I guess, is from what I understand of it, is just puberty, just growing up.
Yeah.
It'll probably end like.
How many seasons does it have now? Because I didn't.
Not-
I only watched
It's
the
probably
first
gonna
one.
end by one of them having sex or
Yeah, that's
I've
what I was
only
gonna
watched
say.
the
It'll
first
probably
season.
End, like when they lose their virginity or when they go to college.
They have a big
maybe.
orgy or something, like in like a Stephen King novel.
No thank.
That'd be fucking weird.
Yeah.
But it's not something that I wouldn't expect from that show.
Yeah,
They
and
would
then like
do some weird
Netflix is
shit
just
like
like, hey man, it's okay. They're exploring their genders.
It's
They're
alright
exploring their
because they're
sexuality.
kids.
Yeah, but it's like it's animated, man. They're exploring their sexuality, and then everyone's gonna be like, okay, okay,
Stop this.
like.
Well, I guess there's some weird shit. Kids fucking pillows, but like, I think
I forgot about
I
He
think-
put like the hot SpaghettiOs in his pillow so that it had
Yeah.
warmth to it,
But
and
this is-
then his pillow could talk, and they had kids and like a
Yeah.
bunch of other
Okay,
shit.
okay,
and his
but-
kid and the kids
Yep.
they had looked like his brother, and his pillow was like, I cheated on you with your brother Jay. I'm sorry.
Right,
I'm
yeah.
watching this. I'm
the
like,
gay pillow and the straight and the like, hey baby,
Yeah.
fuck me, hunk.
it's like there's
Like,
and then
but,
he runs upstairs.
but yeah, you're right because I guess here's how you look at it. Like at the first part, like that, I think that's coming from like truth, and like just like from I guess realism of fucking just kids being
Kids doing
weirdos
fucking
and doing
pillows.
dumb shit. I remember in middle school being like, I remember a kid telling me he's like, yeah, I fucked my pillow. Like
Yeah,
you
bro,
know
I fucked
how
my
it
pillow.
is. You know how vanilla kids are, bro.
yeah.
So I think they're basing that off like realism, because fucking in America, kids that age are just fucking weird. And then, but on the ladder there, yeah, fucking clearly, a fucking pillow's not gonna get pregnant.
And give birth to a baby pillow.
I think it's just weird, man. Imagine like going on Netflix, you got on your
Or pitching
stepdad's
this to
Netflix, and you're just watching in Big Mouth. You're like 10, just like.
Yeah, no, definitely not meant for a younger.
Well, it's an
audience.
adult show.
Yeah.
It's the same as Family Guy or something like that.
Yeah, they're just like.
But
Any
it comes
kid could
off
go on
very-
Netflix, though,
It
and
comes
just,
off
like-
very like meant for kids, you know. Like
Yeah.
if I were a kid
I think people-
browsing Netflix unattended and I saw Big Mouth, I would be appealed to.
This
click
is something that we can get into that's a little edgy, but I just think people are so quick to be a part of cancel culture nowadays.
Yeah.
that.
Like, which I think
Cancel
canceling
culture
people
bad.
for right reasons is an absolute necessary thing, but people are just so quick to cancel people without even finding out what the fuck is the true initiative.
There's not only
or
that.
just-
What's going
There's
on.
not only that, but the whole thing comes down to the cancel culture is, are you canceling people or are you canceling their art? Like, and is art something that can be, because you don't
Well, I can look
you
at a
don't
picture
think
like a
you look
painting,
at giant fucking
you know.
well-known scientists, right?
Yeah.
A lot of them were fucking perverts, right? They were perverts, cheating on their wives, having sex with kids. A lot of the science, but we don't go cancel the science, because the science is there, no matter what. And but with art, it comes down to this: is because you think about like Michael Jackson,
Yeah.
or you think about a lot of these people.
Hitler,
It goes.
for
It goes.
example.
No, not Hitler. Not Hitler, Nate.
He was
You
a
think
painter.
no, like,
His
no,
paintings
stop,
were
Nate.
beautiful.
Nate, no,
His
Nate.
paintings look good. He
Nate,
was a
you
good
think
painter.
about, like, you think
Piece of shit human being. Piece of shit idealistics. Beautiful painter.
What-
Maybe if he went into art school, maybe he wouldn't be. Maybe World War II wouldn't have happened.
I'm saying.
Good painter. I digress.
Like-
Don't take me out of context. Fuck Hitler, but
The-
good painter.
John Lennon and like Michael Jackson, is it like
I had to write a
is
story,
their art
a
so good that it's
paper
like
about him.
it levels science? Can art be so good and so untouchable that it rivals science in like a way that it's like if you cancel it, it's like why are you canceling it? It's good. It's good no matter what.
See,
No matter who the artist is, the song they made is good. Like
Right,
objectively.
I love science, but yet again, we can't deny that it's flawed like anything else. Look at science back then. We were like, oh, fucking retards or goofy asses.
We put people in jail because they
Dumb.
said the Earth was
But
round.
in a few hundred years, we're gonna do the same thing, and it's gonna happen over and over again, where we're just gonna improve and be like, damn, we were so ridiculous a few hundred years ago.
Yeah, but like, is it gonna get to the point where like everything is so like taboo that like the government just like surveils everything, and if you do anything that it's like deemed inappropriate, you're just fucked for life? You're on the sex offender list. Like I know. I think that it's kind of messed up that as a minor, if you can be put on the sex offender list for the rest of your life for doing something like sending nudes or something. Like obviously you shouldn't probably do it, but like.
Yeah, it is.
And obviously with someone that's like older too, you know what I mean? But like when like
Right.
kids are getting that age, now they have Snapchat, now they have Facebook and all this thing, like they're gonna do it. Because kids are young and horny, you know what I mean? They're gonna do it, and I feel like they could just be fucked for life for a simple mistake they made in the middle school. Even if it didn't even hurt anybody and non-violent.
I mean, there's lots of
was
shit
just-
like that.
They're put on a list for the rest of their lives. They could pretty much, if you put on the sex offender list, you're kind of fucked, man.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
It's worse than being a felon.
Well,
Yeah,
because
honestly.
like there's no way of getting around like going up because the mandatory like having to tell your neighbors you're a sex offender. Like,
Yeah, that
how do you
sucks.
go around that?
If someone knocked on my door and was like, I'm notified to tell you I'm a sex offender, I'd be like, cool.
I'd be like,
yeah.
Close the door. I gotta go fold some socks.
I wouldn't go straight to assume, but it's not like I would want to be his buddy. But yet again, he's my neighbor. I'm not gonna fucking.
You'd rather be friends with the pervert. Like if Herbert the pervert lived right next to you, you know, if Herbert the pervert lived right next to you,
I guess you would.
You
rather
would
be
want-
friends with someone.
you know, you'd want to
like,
keep your eye on him
not.
and not get close to him, but you'd
Keep
want,
your enemies.
yeah,
What's the saying?
Yeah,
keep
it's like
your friends
keep
close,
your-
keep your
no, keep your
enemies
friends
closer.
close, take your enemy's toaster.
Yeah.
Guys, we gotta get his toaster.
You gotta be close enough to them to take their toaster, and then never bring it back. You're gonna be like, "Hey
Get two
man, is
birds
it
stoned
cool
in
if I
one.
borrow your toaster?" And then never bring it back.
You
never
ever
talk
go to the
them again.
library and just steal something, or like check something out and never return it?
I've done that. Yeah, that is stealing.
I've never done that.
I've definitely done that at fucking Harlem.
Yeah,
I
was
think
gonna
I did
say,
that with
school,
like
at least each grade. I have a book that I shouldn't have.
I did it with like a
I
Donkey
never
Kong
brought back.
VCR.
Really?
VHS tape
Yeah.
of like Donkey Kong. I'm
Nice.
just kidding. I don't know.
Oh, I have a lot of fucking books
Textbooks?
from school that no, not textbooks, like library books.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, from school.
Yeah.
Oh
not
shit!
gonna lie.
You know, if you didn't return those and pay the fine for them, you never would have been able to graduate.
Yeah.
You want to know something?
That's something that's
I
fucked
have a
up.
It is kind
textbook.
of dumb.
I have a textbook actually, but
Me too. I do. I have. Actually,
I
no, I
never-
don't. No, I don't.
no, neither do I. Neither do I.
I don't.
Basically what didn't
Harlem's gonna
happen.
be knocking on my door tomorrow.
Yeah. Basically, what didn't happen is that I had a teacher at the time, and it was her first year at Harlem, and it was also her last. And I
Okay.
coincidentally didn't forget to bring my book to school on the last day. So she was like, coincidentally, she didn't tell me that she was like, hey, like you're gonna just bring it, you know, to the school like someday in the summer. You're fine.
Right.
And there was,
And he just
you
didn't
know,
do
like
that.
there was.
I have an atlas for Mr.
You know,
Schmidt.
no charge. No, it was definitely not an English book.
Yeah.
That's like worth like $80.
Yeah, dude. Textbooks are
Definitely not.
fucking expensive, bro.
Yeah.
They are so expensive.
My brother has a textbook from like middle school that he never brought back.
You look fancy and smart if you have a textbook.
Yeah, you just keep it. on
You
your
know,
desk.
you know what I realize is
I still listen
school.
to
It's like all teachers do is like they read a textbook and then they're like, "This is what I'm going to teach in the class." So what if we just had the kids read the textbooks? Like that's basically
no
all that
teacher,
teachers
they
are
just walk
fucking
in,
doing at this
yeah.
point. Is that they all like everything is so standardized now.
Slideshow.
They're all teachers are now.
Yeah.
Are grade collectors.
Pretty
All they
much.
are is they read something, what they have to give you, and then they give it to you, and then they grade you on it. That's all teaching is anymore. It's not actually teaching. It's not teaching at all.
And there's a lot of teachers. Some teachers will like take it into their own hands and to like make their class fun, do their own, have their own.
Yeah, but a
make
lot of
their
times they're
class
punished
have,
for
like, a
that.
person. Yeah, they are.
Like
And-
Mr. Ash, I know I had him. Shout out to Mr. Ash. He was a great teacher, and he would be yelled at by their principal and shit for having extracurricular shit going on in class.
That's messed up.
Because it's not in the curriculum, and the other teachers weren't doing it, so it would be like, yeah,
That's dumb.
dude, the way things are so standardized now is very dumb, and teachers are like the same way as cops, where they're just picked off the streets. Anyone, and the problem with teachers is it's a cycle. Okay, you go to school for the first 18 years of your life, right? And then you go, what do I want to be? I want to be a teacher.
Teachers
So you
are
go to
weird,
so
man.
you
It's
go to
weird how they're all
you go to college, right? You go to college, and then after college, you go back to a school as a teacher. You've never escaped that cycle of school your whole life. You have no idea what it's like in the outside fucking world besides school. School, academics, standardized tests. So
And that's why they're always like,
it's a
"This
mentality.
means everything.
It's like a competition between teachers, like almost. Cause like I remember being in like night school and like teachers were fucking dicks to like the night school staff and like the night school kids. Like they didn't think of them as like actual students. But I'm like, bro, you think like, high school teachers think they're college professors now? They're like, I teach a high school class. I'm a pedo. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know who I'm
I
talking
know what
about.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
Shout out,
But-
Mr.
Nope.
Say it.
Nope.
Say it.
Nope.
Say it.
Nope.
Do the letter.
Nope. Fuck. I messed everything up like always. Here, I was gonna look something up. I was gonna look up Illinois public school funding.
Mr. Lotion.
He's basically Mr. Lotion. Hey girl, you need some lotion on your back? Hey, I'm a track teacher, but I can't use my legs.
What if he hears this?
Mr.
Hello?
Lotion.
I'm not gonna put this in the podcast.
I just got this part out. Somebody clips it and like it sends it to him on Twitter. He has a Twitter account.
Kind
Alright,
of weird
wait.
how he has all the bitches in his room in the morning.
Yeah, it's very weird. She's a pedophile. All right.
I know he follows them on Twitter.
Anyway, so we can get ahead of this shit. Alright, anyway, so I'm looking this up, the annual Illinois public school funding. Whenever my computer loads, because I was looking at the police one, it was like $84 million. Going to
$84
police.
million to the police.
Yeah.
What is that spent on? Cars,
Guns, cars,
rubber bullets, and tear
cups
gas?
for their coffee
Tear gas.
machines. I guess the
We need a
earliest we
coffee
can go is
machine, bro. Go to
2018.
Kelly's Market, it's free.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said though, like $84 million, you could do a lot of shit with $84 million. People don't realize how much you could do with
It's a lot of money,
It's a lot of
man.
money, and that's for just the Illinois police alone.
That's just one state.
Shit, I really wish my computer would work.
Computer, he's slow.
This is from like the actual Illinois State Board of Education. Yeah, donate to this podcast. This podcast is sponsored by Soap City USA. Link in the description. Soap City, some natural. Actually, Nate, tell us a little bit about our sponsor, Soap City USA.
Soap City USA is an all-natural soap product. But let me just stop right there. Not only soap product, but you have body wash, you have body fizz, you have
Body fizz.
lip balm, you have perfume, you have beard oil, you have all
oil.
these all-natural
Damn.
products, bro.
Can you please elaborate on what body fizz is?
Body fizz. You know how like you have bath bombs?
Yeah.
It's bath bombs, not in its compressed
Shower
form.
bath bomb.
So basically, it's just powdered bath bomb. So you put it in your bath, and it fucking starts fizzing your bath up.
Huh.
Then you
pretty
get
cool.
in your bath.
It's It's pretty cool. Yeah, anyone who's interested in that, there'll be a link in the description of the Facebook page.
Soap City
Soap
USA.
City USA.
Soap City USA.
If you want to be sponsored on In the Basement, just email me in the description on my email, or go to my Instagram and DM me.
DM me on Instagram.
Yeah. Also go follow the Instagram.
Follow the Insta.
Oh, that
I don't know. I'm on the Illinois State Board of Education site, and it's just like really fucky. Keeps making my computer crash. That's what they don't want you to see. They don't want you to see the shit.
They don't want you to see
I'm trying to break into the Matrix, and they're trying to stop me. They're trying to stop me from finding out the truth.
They don't want us to know.
Oh man, I think I
Hey
saw.
guys, this is Infowars here.
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones here.
Hey, Alex Jones.
Yo, Alex Jones is actually my uncle.
Yeah, bro.
My uncle is Alex
This is
Jones.
Jacob Jones.
Imagine.
Is he your
like,
mom's or your dad's brother?
He's
He's
my
actually-
he's my mom's dog's son.
He's one of those guys that is just friends with your dad, and they say that he's your uncle. You know, one of those guys.
My
No?
dad was on the Alex Jones show. Alex Jones show.
No, he was not.
He called up. Like they have.
Oh, I thought you meant you had him as a guest. I was like, no fucking way,
Who's my
bro.
guest?
And
Bill Jackson's dad.
Yeah, you should have asked a little further more. The Alex Jones show was several hours, but yeah, they had the segment where they were, accepting call-ins, and my dad called in.
Yeah.
What did he say? Do you remember?
Forgot, but he asked some question that was relevant to the time in 2012.
Damn, it was
Yeah.
all the way back then.
Yeah, my dad's. Yeah, he likes listening to him.
Yeah. The thing about Alex Jones is he's just like,
I think
I think that he ended up being right on some things. Some things
He's gotten worse in the
he-
past 5 years.
he goes like,
yeah, definitely.
it's like he's trying to be crazy for views or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he says it before, like it's a meme.
He's definitely fucking crazy, but I think it's messed up that they're like silencing him. Like he can't.
Yeah, they
be
took him
on
off YouTube.
Twitter. Really? They took him off.
Yeah, they deleted his channel off YouTube.
They took him off Twitter too.
Really?
Yeah, he can't
See,
be on Twitter.
that's the whole argument. We're gonna get into something right here. That's the whole argument of like, do these companies, because they're private companies, have the right to suppress speech?
Yeah.
Do they have the right? Because being a private company, they could have their own rules, right? But
Yeah.
they are these giant. When you get a giant corporation that millions and millions of people are communicating on, or pushing their ideas on, or talking, discussing, I think it's kind of toxic to be biased, have a biased platform. Like, but then again, most platforms are biased,
Yeah.
no matter what you are. Like, and most platforms are liberal biased because that's the money that comes in.
Yeah.
You know, and you get people like Alex Jones, or who's the other one? Milo Yiannopoulos, is that his name? Also got
yeah.
taken off of Twitter. Both
Yiannopoulos
very
or whatever.
conservative people. And that's not saying I agree with them, but I'm saying do these
Well,
companies
you're
have the
canceling
right
free
to
speech.
yeah, and because I feel like there's something healthy about being able, if someone says something stupid, to be able to comment on it and being like, no, you're
Absolutely.
fucking stupid, and have this healthy debate.
Yeah, maybe not saying you're fucking stupid.
You
but-
know what I mean? Like, have a debate about it.
Mhm.
Like
instead
you're
of
wrong.
instead
I
of
think you're
just
wrong.
completely just confirmation bias. No matter
Yeah.
what you see, everything you see is just confirmation bias.
Mhm.
Like, and who's to say that you're not wrong?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
so it just becomes a thing where when you censor somebody, where's the line?
Yeah.
Where's the line of you can get censored? Like, there's a guy on Twitter who got banned for calling someone dude.
Really?
Yeah, like, and there was like a transgender person who got offended, and they reported him, and he got banned off Twitter. He got suspended for like 2 months or some shit.
Damn.
That's
Yeah.
a big suspension. It should be like a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A week at most.
Yeah, but like I know people that get suspended all the time. Dennis, shout out to Dennis, gets suspended off Facebook constantly. I mean,
Yeah,
when I
stuff like
used to have
that.
Facebook at least, he would get suspended all over Facebook. I mean, he's suspended all off Facebook.
sucks.
Yeah, getting suspended all over Facebook.
They're like the opposite though. They kind of seem to not really be, like shutting people down.
I don't know. Do you know the term Zuck?
Getting zucked.
You get
Yes,
meme
that's fair.
pages are
But
what
lately-
suffer on Facebook. If
Yeah,
fucking meme
definitely.
pages.
But lately they haven't been doing much about like political shit. Like they don't really care. if misinformation is spread.
Yeah, but I just
Well,
I
they
don't know.
have,
I'm
like,
just biased
fact
against
checker.
Facebook, I guess.
Yeah.
Facebook has like a
they-
fact checker.
yeah.
I
They
hate
did that
that. I hate
recently.
Facebook, man. With all it's like just ads
I
and
hate it too.
bullshit. It's an ugly app. I used to be obsessed and addicted to it, but like
Yeah,
now I just realize it's like I'm like one of those people that were like addicted to
soda.
cigarettes. Like I'm one of those people that were like addicted to cigarettes and then stopped smoking and now they
Yeah.
hate cigarettes. Like that's how I am with Facebook.
Soda's a good example
Right.
too.
Yeah.
Everybody loves it, and then once you stop it, like stop drinking it for so long, you don't want to go back. You're like, why was I drinking that
Yeah,
all
but
the
then
time?
that's how I always am, and then it ends up being like I have nothing else to drink but a soda, so then I just drink it and power through it, and then I'm eventually drinking soda again.
Yeah, that's how it always
Like,
is.
And like,
Once it's there,
yeah.
you're like, oh, I guess, and then you start drinking it all the time again.
Yeah, and then you don't even realize you're drinking it all the time.
Yeah.
You're like, I'll have one now because I usually don't drink soda, and the next time you're like, oh, I'm just having another one. You know, it's not that
Yep.
bad.
And then
Like,
eventually,
yeah,
all
you-
you're drinking again.
It's like a thing you can get addicted to anything. You can
Yeah,
definitely get addicted to
easily.
soda, man. Definitely get addicted to soda.
Well,
The
several
sugar in
people
it.
are addicted to caffeine.
Yeah, like a
Oh,
good
yeah.
amount of the U.S. population probably is addicted to soda, caffeine.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, where do we draw the line of like, oh, you're addicted to meth, you're a terrible person, while half the population is
Has
addicted
to
to
get
something else,
coffee every morning.
Well,
coffee or cigarettes or beer, or marijuana or pills, pain pills.
2015 seems forever ago.
Yeah, it was 5 years ago. It's fucking weird to think about, man. That like when I was
Before you
digging
know
when
it's
I was
gonna be
digging
2030.
YouTube and shit back in 2013 and shit.
Yeah,
That was
watching
7
Smosh
years
back
ago.
in the
When
early
did y'all get
days.
into YouTube? Because I got into YouTube pretty early.
2013. That's when my family finally got Wi-Fi.
I got
don't
into
remember
YouTube
the
in
exact
like very,
time.
very early. It was 2007 when my my older siblings showed me like Fred and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
So from there on, I would go on YouTube in like 2007, 2008, and just watch Fred videos and shit. When YouTube was, I watched the format grow. It's kind of crazy how if I were to put
Yeah.
how many hours I put into it, it's definitely over
I've put a lot of hours
5,000.
in YouTube.
It's
too.
over 5,000.
Yeah,
It's
it's
been really cool to see the platform.
It's my
I think it's
go-to.
kind
There's
of
so
gone
much
to
different
shit more or
content.
less.
Definitely has.
Matthew
deep
Santoro doesn't
variety.
even make top 10s anymore.
No.
He
doesn't
posted a
even
video
do
saying
doesn't
it was a
make
gay ass
content.
video of him walking through the fire with like walking through a forest with shitty fire animation, and it was like him like, I'm done with top 10s.
Well,
What
those
the
are,
It was super gay.
they weren't really popular anymore.
That's the only reason I would watch him.
Yeah, I mean that's what he was popular for. No.
I guess there's nothing wrong with branding out, but like, I don't
If
know.
that's all that your audience is there for.
Yeah, it's like the argument when like musicians change so much.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Remo
we're
Drive, for
like,
example.
or Bring Me the
Album
Fucking Horizon, where their first few albums are like, and then like now they're like booty boop boop boop. Some people like clouds, you know. Booty boop
Really?
boop. Yeah,
Hey
bro.
Jacob, since let's use special words here. Since there's no camera anymore, would you like to take a fat old booger right now, bro?
I'll take a booger.
I'm gonna take a fat booger right now.
I'm a booger at
Then
it.
you're gonna take a fat booger,
You know, back in the
a
day,
fat live booger, and then Ian Payne's gonna take a fat booger.
dude. Back in the day, I used to
Imagine if we took boogers back in the day.
I used to think that I used to think that booger and burger were the same word. So I'd be like, "Can we get some Burger King?"
How about
Some
this?
burger.
How about this, Jacob? Let me throw you back. Hey, I'm Brad. You want a
Oh,
big
no.
juicy cheese
No.
burger?
No.
Big juicy cheese
No, Dave.
burger
Dave.
in the locker room, bro.
Dude, I saw his fucking cock.
What are you guys talking
Bro,
about?
back in 7th grade, I remember
My stalker, Brad.
I accidentally found a USB drive.
What?
I remember you telling me about a stalker, but I don't remember.
I wonder if he's probably
Yeah.
listening to this right now.
he probably fucking
He
is.
loves
Dude,
you.
he dyed my hair. He dyed his hair
Cheeseburger.
black when I died, like a day after I dyed my hair black.
That's
He
kinda
loves
crazy.
He would follow me
He loves
around
you, Jake.
everywhere. He would follow me around
go to
everywhere I
school
went.
with us?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
only
he
for
went to
only
Harlem.
for only for 7th grade, and
That's
his locker was like 2 down from mine, and he would just follow me. I had every class with him. He'd sit with me at lunch. He wouldn't leave me the fuck alone.
That's
And then like
strange,
he
man.
found out my phone number and my Steam account, and I didn't give him either of them.
Bro, That's scary.
Yeah, and then he went back to Harlem for a little bit last year, and he texted me, and he was like, okay, I'm either gonna say some shit or we're gonna fucking fight or something like that, and I just blocked him. Like I didn't even know he had a Facebook. Yeah, I just blocked him.
He said we're either gonna say some shit.
No, he said, or we're gonna have some problems. That's what he said.
That's scary.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, crazy stalker is gonna kill me.
Crazy stalker, bro.
He literally said he came to you like, we're either gonna talk.
He would always ask me to stay the night at his house, and I'd always be like, no. And then the second I feel like a dick for like, because there were times where I was like, bro, can you leave me alone? Like, how did he not get the hint that I wanted him to leave me alone? Like, I really told him several times that I just leave me alone, man.
Since he sent that message about having problems, he had it down the head.
But that was recent. That was this last school year. He went back to Harlem for a little bit, and he texted me that.
Why do you say he has a problem with you?
Because I completely ghosted him after he moved. He moved to Rockford, and I blocked him on everything. Steam. I blocked his number.
I would too. He was creepy like that.
Like, dude, what if like I just like would never leave you alone? I was texting you, calling you, asking you to stay the night, and then you dye your hair blue, and then next day I dye my hair blue, and he starts like.
I want to be as far away from you as possible.
Yeah, it's just. It was fucking weird, man.
The next day.
It was like the next 2 days, yeah. It was really weird, and like, I remember.
Booger time.
I had like one of my. You guys both know who the teacher. I'm not gonna say his name, but he's an 8th grade teacher. But he was teaching one 7th grade class, and that was mine.
Mr. Letter.
T.
Female.
No, man. Mister. What do you mean female?
Tan. Fuck.
That would
just-
be a girl. What do you think?
Yeah, Tanaski, that's a female.
Yeah, just no, not Miss Tennessee. No. Yeah. But anyway, he thought me and Brad were best friends, so he kept pairing us together and shit. And then one day, he was like, "Why don't you and Brad just go on a date?" And Chloe and fucking her friend were talking. He was like, "With Chloe and Allison," and I was like, "No." And Brad, like, he moved me next to Brad, and I always had to sit next to Brad. And eventually, at the end of the school year, Brad raised his hand one day. And Mr. T was like, "Yeah, Brad," and he goes, "I have to throw up. Can I go to the bathroom?" And Mr. Tassoni was, oh fuck. Mr. T was like, was like, "Yeah, Brad." And Brad walked casually to the door, and right when he opened up the door, he just puked everywhere right outside the door, like right.
Oh my
like,
god! At least he tried to make it out. You know. I respect the man for trying to get out of the classroom to throw up, but he could have just fucking ran out of the classroom and threw up. He didn't have to be like.
That's what the teacher said. He was like, "Why did you do that?" And then that day he went home early, and he was like, "Jacob, why didn't you say something?" And I was like, "I don't fucking care about Brad." And he goes, "I thought you guys were best friends." And I was like, "No, bro. Nah, bro. No." And if he's listening to this, he's probably gonna cry.
Well, poor Brad. Brad, if you're hearing this, I'm sorry.
I'm not sorry.
Yeah.
Calling you out right now.
You know,
Maybe
there's
you
nothing to
deserve
be
it.
sorry about. You just got to realize, man. You should have been able to realize.
Yeah,
And that was
this
only
is
in
all
7th
you.
grade, so if he's still fucking worrying about that, then he
Yeah, I don't
definitely has
remember
problems.
most of 7th
Jacob
grade.
was nice to you, man. What can you expect from a 7th
Yeah,
grader
at least he
when
wasn't,
you fucking
like-
did
I was a
that
bowl
burger?
haircut 7th
Somebody
grader.
was doing that shit to me in 7th grade. Well, no. In 7th grade, I wouldn't have done shit. I just would have been very confused.
Yeah. I was kind of an asshole in middle school, not gonna lie.
In middle school, I just kind of didn't really talk much. My only friends I got because they
7th grade,
ghosted
I
me.
was innocent, not gonna lie. 8th grade, I got real edgy.
Yeah, same.
I was a dick in middle school.
I was extra edgy in 8th grade. Just so edgy that.
Dude, did
people
you
didn't like
see
it.
me in 8th grade, how edgy I was?
Yeah.
I was like fucking emo as
I
shit.
feel you, but not gonna lie, me and Ian in 8th grade were a different type of edgy.
Like
Not to be, you were more like emo-esque edgy. Me
You
and
were more
fucking
like-
Jacob, or me and fucking Ian Payne were just like 4chan boards.
Oh.
Bad things.
r/fucking looking at shit we shouldn't
Like
be
internet
looking at.
edgy?
Yeah.
I was like-
internet edgy, like deep
I was like-
internet edgy. Me and Ian would watch me go around tour just casually.
Yeah.
My
It was
clothing
actually-
and stuff was like edgy. Like the clothing and shit, my personality was edgy. You guys were just like internet edgy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was a different. We were
shit
secretive. We were
posters.
secretive about it. You were more of the open, edgy. We were just like.
I dressed up as Marilyn Manson one day for school, and people
Yep.
liked it. And then now they're like, "Why didn't you do that?" I'm like, "Because I don't give a fuck." Because I literally don't care.
That goes to show what we said earlier. Times were different, man.
Yeah, man. People would have just been like, "Haha, Jacob, you funny." But you do that shit now. You go into middle school right now and
How
do
was that booger, Ian Payne? How was
Pretty
the booger?
fire.
Dude, have you seen kids nowadays? They all have iPhones and they're all like,
Yeah.
they're all like,
I'm not gonna lie.
we're thugs now.
I had a smartphone in
Gangsters.
6th grade.
I have this kid on Snapchat that's absolutely. He's not a year old, but 12 years old, and he's like posting pictures of guns and he's smoking
Yeah.
That's
weed.
scary, bro.
His name was like.
It's because kids are
Montana
allowed to
World.
play Black Ops and have iPhones when they're in first grade.
I remember playing Black Ops and having a smartphone in like 5th grade. 6th
Yeah,
grade.
5th grade, 6th grade.
4th grade.
Yeah,
I was
4th grade,
playing-
but like,
I remember my friend
you would,
showed me
yeah,
Black
yeah,
Ops
exactly.
as
You would
well.
find out from like the other friends, and then you'd like convince your mom slowly into
Yep.
buying it. Yeah, like yeah. Like, well, I remember one time I bought Black Ops on my Wii, and I was like 8 or 10. Nah, I was like 10 or 11 or 12 whenever it came out, right? 10, 11, 12, and when I bought it for my Wii, I put it in the first mission, the guy was like, "Fuck! Fucking shit!" And my dad just turned it off, and then he fucking drove right back to GameStop, and then, like,
It was like,
just
why the
returned
fuck
it.
did you always
And then
say
he
so?
came back with, like, some derpy shit, like Wipeout or something, and he was like,
Aw.
"Play this instead." And at the time, I was just like, okay.
Alright.
I was like, I tried
I tried.
and lost.
Wipeout on the Wii
But then,
was fun.
now you have kids playing Grand Theft Auto 5, and they're just
Yeah.
like, 5.
Mom, fuck off!
Give me my Mountain Dew.
I'm playing Minecraft, Mom.
Mom, fuck off! I'm playing Minecraft.
Fortnite. I'm playing Fortnite.
Dude, yeah, now I'm playing
The
Fortnite.
whole culture's different now.
Yeah.
It's like, cause like when I remember when I went on to PlayStation 3 online when I was like 13, and I was like this 13-year-old kid that's just now getting exposed to all this, and you have like these guys who are like, "Fuck you up, boy, 360 no scope you to fucking hell, you're fucking dead, your mom is in my fucking bed, bitch," and I'm just like and like yeah, I'm just like 13, just like, oh my god, I'm learning so much right now. And then like
I'm learning so much right now.
yeah. Like I remember learning about like women's bra sizes through a Call of Duty map. Like
Oh my God.
I never played Call of Duty, but like at that age, I watched people play Call of Duty.
See,
which was like.
Thankfully, I was
insane.
very adventurous. I don't know if it's thankfully or not, but I was just very adventurous with the internet when I was really young. So,
yeah, I didn't even
so
have the
I
internet
was,
when I was that young.
See, yeah, I was exposed to it very early on.
I was as
So
well.
I was very desensitized, and it doesn't really, it never really bothered me. But just the shit that I saw, man. I mean, not that it was like fucked up.
No, yeah, I would be. I think I was 14 when I saw Meat Spin.
Man, I was
And it
so.
changed me for the rest of my life.
I remember.
Basically, my
musical
point was
experience.
is I was very ready for the Xbox Live fucking video or game chats. So I was
I
just like,
remember-
even though I was a fucking squeaker,
So yeah, you're
I-
like
I
my
was
little brother who was
very-
exposed to it at a very young age.
I was very ready to like, fuck you, bro. Yeah. And you're like, you sound like 5 inches deep in your mom, bro. Fuck you.
Nate.
Yeah, that's why I ate your mom's pussy last night, dumb fucking
Whoa,
bitch.
bro.
God.
Literally, you know how that be, bro. It's
Yeah.
it was a different world back then on fucking online gaming.
Yeah, dude, but people could be racist as shit on that stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And like get away with it and stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, there is no
Yeah.
censorship.
Like Keemstar is a good example.
There's no
you know,
censor.
you know the clip I'm talking about. Keemstar.
Everyone
Alex,
knows the one.
Everyone, in the chat
Everybody
said
knows the
Alex.
Alex
Every-
Keemstar clip.
Everyone knows that.
Back then, nobody gave a shit that was a thing.
Yeah, it's like even look back like 20 years in like the culture in like the 90s, the early 2000s, the 80s.
Sad.
It was like they had Tropic Thunder of Robert Downey Jr. playing a black guy.
And it was like
Like,
wasn't it like
it
3
was-
characters deep?
He was like he was a guy,
guy
playing a guy playing a black guy.
Yeah, it was
like
fucking weird.
They did it. It was genius, but I don't.
That
Not
movie is
not a
pretty
lot of
genius.
people got pissed off about that. But if you pulled that shit now,
You
if you tried to
can't.
do that shit
It's
now,
not possible. now.
you would be done. You would be done if you even
Shane
suggested
Dawson?
to do stuff.
Shane Dawson is getting
I
fucking
don't-
destroyed.
I don't even know if we should talk about that stuff.
I don't
man.
know if I will.
Shane.
Well, I mean,
I
if-
always
if-
knew he was a little
hey,
weird.
Hey, if you support Shane Dawson, I'm cream soda'd up right now. If
Shane
you
Dawson.
support Shane Dawson, you are fucked up.
Yeah.
Look at what has been proven and what he has said on
Fucking weird
podcasts purposely.
Remember
You
when
can't
he said he
deny
fucked
what
his
the
cat?
things he said. He said he fucked his cat. That was a joke. Okay, we can laugh about that. We
Joke.
blew that off.
I wish the
But
camera
now,
was on for my air
but we
quotes.
blew that off. He said it was a joke. We believed him. We believed him. But now he has literally openly said on podcasts that 6-year-olds, and even as extreme as fucking newborn babies and toddlers, are sexy because he Googles it.
Yeah.
Like, these
That's
are.
fucked up. I didn't even know
Yeah,
that.
Look
no,
it
yeah.
up.
He
These
said he
are
goes. Is it so? If
audio.
it's so weird for people who have like regular like fetishes to look up their things, why is it frowned upon to look up
you
pictures
know,
of a naked babies?
on
And
Google.
the other person was like, "What the fuck are you fucking talking about, man?" And he's like, "Just hear me out, hear me out, hear me out." And like,
And he's like, yeah, I met this little girl, and she was like, oh my god, are you Instagramming? And I was really embarrassed, and I was like, and, yeah, let me repeat what I remember completely. He was like, yeah, I was embarrassed because I was Instagramming, but basically this girl came over, and she was like, yeah, I have like 150,000 followers, and I was like, I was shook because she was almost as popular as I was, and I went to her Instagram, and she was like sexy. Literally, I believe,
Isn't
I
that
forgot
fucked
who
up,
she was
bro?
with, but she was
Fucked up,
with
man.
another female celebrity where it was a podcast ordeal. And it was just, I always knew Shane was fucky.
yeah, I always knew he was fucky too.
Yeah, he's always had a weird vibe about
That's
it.
that's what the thing is. I was never one of the people that was like really into his stuff.
I used to love his conspiracy.
Well,
videos,
I mean,
I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, that's the thing. Like, the conspiracy stuff, I would watch every, like,
Those
I
are
mean,
pretty
my
interesting.
feed, like, I watch a lot of YouTube, so I watch a lot of different content.
Yeah, variety.
So, I mean, his conspiracy theory videos weren't the worst, so I would watch them every so often.
Yeah.
When they were really popular and when they were actually quality, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, if anyone
But
should
it's
be
not like
canceled,
something
it
I
should be Shane
sought out.
Dawson.
It was something that came up in my news feed or my
Yeah.
recommended and I watched.
Right. If anyone should be canceled, it's Shane Dawson. He should be canceled.
Yeah. Think about how much money Shane Dawson has already made. Shane Dawson can live out the rest of his life comfortably, living just even a fucking middle like wage life.
I think
So,
that
if
Shane
anyone
Dawson
deserves
is
to be
just like.
canceled, it's Shane Dawson.
I think that Shane
We
Dawson
shouldn't
should,
cancel
he should not.
fucking don't
We should
like
not
Shane
support
Dawson,
that
but
fucking
we were just
mindset.
talking about
Like, for
canceling cancel
example,
culture. Now
one of my-
Yeah, we
What-
should cancel
yeah.
culture, but I'm saying if anyone should be canceled,
Yeah,
it's
that's true,
Shane
that's true,
Dawson.
that's true, yeah,
If
yeah.
anyone should be canceled, it's Shane. Like, there's
Yeah.
no way you can spin the things he says and be
Into a
like,
good way,
oh
yeah.
yeah, let's see what that guy's saying. Like, no, he
Oh,
says
yeah,
things, and
yeah,
even
I
the
know.
people that are sitting on the podcast with him
With him,
are
yeah.
just like,
What the fuck, man?
that's not. They're like, Shane, you're gonna go to jail. Like, they literally say that on the podcast.
Yeah, they're like, stop, and they're like,
Stop
uncomfortable.
saying this.
And they're like, no, and she's like, no, hear me out, and they're just like,
Stop talking, bro.
Yeah, bro. There's a line where like you can say things that are like people can disagree with, right?
Yeah.
And saying things that are actively supporting pedophilia.
Yeah.
So like,
And there's like the line of, it's fucked up, but it's funny, and it's just fucked up.
yeah,
well, because the context of this, it's not like he's joking.
no,
He's
Yeah.
saying
it's
it
not
as
no
his own
comedy.
personal
No,
accord. He's comparing it to people's fetishes, which if you compare it to people's fetishes, a majority of the fetishes No, I'm not even. Let me not even say the majority. Like all of them, because there's no fetish that's like I like child. I like children. Like fuck
No,
you.
no.
That's not
People
a
have
fucking
fetishes for stepping
fetish.
on animals.
Fetish.
That's
Okay.
not a fetish.
It is.
That's fucked.
No, it is.
Okay,
It's
let
a-
me- hey,
it's a
Jacob,
fetish on the dark-
Jacob
on the
Heikkinen
deep
within
web.
The Basement Podcast. Let me just elaborate real quick.
I don't
It is,
know.
man.
Is
It
that-
is, man.
that-
It's called like
There's
it's
nothing
something.
wrong.
It's called hard candy or some
Hey,
shit
hey,
like that.
Jacob,
No,
there's nothing
Yeah.
wrong. There's
Yeah,
nothing
bro.
wrong with fetishes as long as it's involving two
FBI's
consensual.
listening now.
Fuck yourself. There's nothing wrong with fetishes as long as it involves two consensual adults without harming of others. And this is coming from the most vanilla fucking white person that you can ever hear from. Like, there's nothing wrong with that shit.
Okay. Okay.
Alright.
I just wish I could.
But
do
when
the
you're
okay.
fucking, like you said, stomping on animals, I know what you're completely talking about. Big
Yeah.
red heels, stomping on fucking gerbils for hella
Yeah.
money.
That's fucked up.
Like they live
Because
stream it
remember,
and like
don't you
the
remember me talking
Bitcoin
about that
comes
shit
in.
back in the day, Ian?
Yeah, I think so.
Because it's not. I'm not new to this shit. Because it's like, this is a whole culture.
Who the fuck is like getting off to that?
God, dude.
There's just something wired in people, I guess. Maybe this
You
kind
like
of
to
ties. Maybe this kind of ties into the superiority of cops and how they're just fucking. They love this power, and maybe it's just a fucking turn-on thing that just gives them this
People
fucking.
just love to smash.
They
fucking
love to fucking.
small innocent animals.
eat
On a
shit.
brighter note, how do you guys like the new vaporwave aesthetic I got for the new podcast? Go.
I like it, but like.
Background, the new logos,
It
the
would be
podcast
fun.
itself.
What did I do with my phone though?
I don't know. I lost my phone too, man. Couch ate it.
Shit, dog. My phone has disappeared.
It's about 10 o'clock, so I think I'm about to cut off the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Sponsor Soap City USA. Check them out in the link description. Thank you guys for watching. Go like and subscribe for more podcasts. You
Peace
know.
out, man.
This is Ian Payne,
Yes.
E-Man himself. This is Nato Jackson. Go
Nato
check
Jackson.
out Verbal Static in the
Verbal
link in
Static.
the description.
Soap City USA.
Yep, and check out Soap City USA, the sponsor. Thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe. This is In the Basement. Peace.